2, 1. Go.
Good morning, and welcome to the 2021 Tennessee Wing Conference. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Bill Reno, your MC for the General Session. Thank you for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by an invocation by Tennessee Wing Chaplain, Lieutenant Colonel Preston Joslin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chaplain Joslin.
Oh Lord, we pause this morning to recognize your presence among us at this important time in our lives when we begin the annual Tennessee Wing Conference. We acknowledge that you continue to guide us, and we are amazed at the miracles we see taking place in our lives. We thank you for the opportunity to serve the wonderful people in the great state of Tennessee through the Civil Air Patrol. When the excitement of this conference fades, when we grow tired of working the exercises and programs, when we grow restless, give us such a hunger for growth and serenity that we will have the courage to reach out to those in leadership for help. Teach us self-acceptance and patience so that we can face the moment and live one day at a time. Most of all, teach us how to truly live so that we may see the exciting, the unique, even the miraculous all around us. We commit ourselves to your care on this day and ask your blessings upon all of the events as they unfold. For we pray in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you. Please take your seats. As was the case last year, we're gathered in many locations for today's conference, so we don't have our traditional facility-specific safety briefing. However, it's always appropriate for us to take a moment to discuss safety. So at this time, I would like to welcome our Tennessee Wing Director of Safety, Lieutenant Colonel Phil Holt, for a briefing.
Today is my last presentation as Tennessee Wing Director of Safety, and I want to go over just for a short time here a few things that happened even before my tenure as Director of Safety. And I want to start with Buren when he was Tennessee Wing Commander. Buren and I and Colonel John Reagan got an aircraft. We flew down to Maxwell to pick up an aircraft. At that time, the Civil Air Patrol was purchasing used aircraft. And we got in this aircraft, and John Reagan was going to follow us after we flew in formation back. And after we got airborne, I told General Bowling at the time, I said, there's something wrong with this airplane. So as we went along, and I tried all kinds of different trims on the aircraft, I told John Reagan, I said, you might want to scoot out a little bit because I want to see what happens to this airplane. So I got it trimmed as best I can, and what happened was the aircraft just went over like this. And so we recovered, we flew on to Knoxville, got the aircraft, and later on we found out that the wing on this aircraft had been removed, and when it was reattached, it was not reattached correctly. And so we took it back to Maxwell, and I don't know what they did with the aircraft after that. Became Director of Safety in 2013. 2014, I went to the Safety Officers College at Kirtland Air Force Base in Albuquerque, and I was, it felt good to see that the two generals were there, General Carr and General Vasquez, and also there was a Colonel Van Buren. And they had us divided in sections, and she was in my section. And there were some good presentations. There was a great crash lab outside near the corner of the base that we went to and looked at different craft sites. So, and then in 2017, I went to another safety officers college at the National Transportation Safety Board training site just outside of Washington, D.C. And also was there was Joe Vasquez and Joe Smith, who was going to be the next national commander. So the point I'm getting at is good for the commanders to get involved with safety, go through the safety program, especially the Safety Officers College. You'll learn a lot. And at that time, George Vogt had taken over as Chief of Safety. George Vogt improved the safety program in the Civil Air Patrol more than 100%. I would say 300%. He improved the safety beacon. He was just phenomenal in what he did in improving the safety program. And so during my tenure as the Director of Safety, we've had several aircraft incidents, accidents, all that. Mainly probably due to landing training. And so the important part is training either through flight clinics, when you fly corporate aircraft, even Air Force aircraft. You have to go through a yearly refresher, not only with the ground and all that. So in the future, I hope the Civil Air Patrol expands. And I was elated when they came out with this Civil Air Patrol standards, because in standardization evaluation, the Civil Air Patrol has always had evaluation, but they always lacked in standardization. And so they need to get everybody flying correctly, the same, and that's where you can cut down your accident and incident rates. So thank you very much, and stay safe.
Thank you, Colonel Holt. Once again, on behalf of Colonel Young and the conference planning team, I'd like to welcome you to our 2021 Wing Conference. I wish I was doing so in person. However, with the virtual conference comes the ability for us to reach a greater number of participants than might be able to travel to a single conference location. Thank you for dedicating your Saturday to learning a little more about Tennessee Wing and Civil Air Patrol. In a special way, I'd like to thank those who are facilitating our breakout sessions today. I'd now like to take a few moments to welcome our official party and our guest of honor. We have with us Colonel Andrea Van Buren, the Southeast Region Commander, and Colonel Dent Young, our Tennessee Wing Commander. And our very special guest of honor, Major General Rick Bowling, former National Commander. Thanks to all of you for joining us today and for your continued service to and support of Civil Air Patrol. It's also our custom to recognize any visiting Wing Commanders, Southeast Region staff members, Tennessee Wing staff members, and current group or squadron commanders in attendance. Obviously, with a virtual conference, we're a bit limited in our ability to see all of these individuals standing and recognize them. But for any such members in attendance, please accept our acknowledgement of your attendance and a very special thank you for your service. Our agenda this morning will include a presentation by our guest of honor, Region Commander and Wing Commander, recognition of some outstanding members of Tennessee Wing, and a change of command ceremony as we mark the transition of Wing Command from Colonel Young to Colonel Bersari. It's my honor at this time to welcome our guest of honor, Major General Rick Bowling. General Bowling is a former Tennessee Wing and Southeast Region Commander, served as our National Commander from 2001 to 2004, and served as Chair of the Board of Governors. Ladies and gentlemen, General Bowling.
Good morning, and thank you, Colonel Van Buren and Colonel Young, for inviting me to this conference and change of command ceremony. I can almost equate to being an old home week, but I'm so glad to be with you and with those of you in the audience. You know, it's hard for me to believe that 60 years ago this month, October of 1961, a young 13-year-old boy spotted a strange uniform in junior high school and asked his friend what was that uniform that he was wearing. He said, "It's Civil Air Patrol." And I asked, "What does Civil Air Patrol do?" And he said, "We go find crashed airplanes." And the rest is history. So I'm celebrating 60 years with this organization this month. A few years later, I became the cadet commander of Knoxville Composite Squadron, and under the mentoring of then Warrant Officer William C. Talent, who went on to become the Tennessee Wing Commander and the Southeast Region Commander. Colonel Talent taught me many things about CAP and life. Colonel Talent was a World War II POW who escaped from a Nazi prison camp. He taught me about patriotism, service before self. He taught me how to be humble and to lead with respect. He taught me about military bearing and customs, courtesies, and chain of command, and how to deal with difficult situations in life and CAP. And believe me, there were a few in CAP that rivaled life. This continued throughout his life, and I hold a great deal of love, honor, and respect for the man. For those old timers in the room here, you know exactly of which I speak. As a cadet, the thought of one day becoming the Tennessee Wing Commander, Southeast Region Commander, and National Commander never entered my mind. I was just there for the good time, and I shall not digress and talk about the cadet days, but those were the days. If you cadets think you have it good today, you really don't have a clue. But this continued throughout my career. A lot of hard work and dedication from those folks around me made these steps in my life happen. And then, of course, I went on to chair the Board of Governors. I've always enjoyed conferences. It gives me and gave me the opportunity to meet and greet folks from all walks of life and the dedicated people that serve this great organization, most of whom go about their day-to-day business within the organization with never standing in the limelight at all. And here we are today doing a virtual conference and not seeing one another, but being able to greet one another face to face. You know, the names change, the faces change, but the dedication, compassion, and resolve is there. And I can see it in the lens of that camera from you folks in the field. In a short while, a few of those dedicated volunteers will receive recognition for their tireless service. And I'm not sure the old term from CAP that CAP stood for come and pay is still being used, but it was relevant and it's relevant now. CAP is not cheap considering the time and effort put forth in doing the job, but the payback is always rewarding and fulfilling. Through the years, I've had an opportunity to lead, work alongside some remarkable people. Some of the members, some not. But all in all, their main focus was to get the job done and get home safely. Their efforts relieved pain and suffering and saved lives. Sometimes the task was beyond measure and sometimes even into uncharted territory. But they were willing to try. They were willing to set that aside. A few years back, Jeff Wadley and Dwight McCarter published a book titled Mayday, Mayday, which gives accounts of the Tennessee Wings efforts in search and rescue and focuses primarily on mountain rescue. And I had an opportunity to be on a lot of those missions, and some of those still remain vivid in my mind. Now we shift forward to September the 11th, 2001. I'd been in office not even 30 days when the day that changed America once again happened. I gave the order to activate and witness 8,000 selfless men, women, and cadet volunteers muster to the call. The newly activated National Operations Center was up and standing. Our planes were in the air, ground support crews staging and loading aircraft, and support staff manning the radios, checkpoints, driving vans where they were needed 24/7. It was ironic to me that the Air Force during those days adopted the call sign Combat Air Patrol, which when they departed, they said this is CAP or Combat CAP flight such and such, departing for whatever. The ironic part was that CAP had been, or Civil Air Patrol had been using CAP flight for a number of years. So we had very little difficulty in launching, staging our aircraft. We just said CAP flight 4, 5, 6 or whatever, and we were immediately granted clearance to get out. Not since World War II had we faced such a call. Another book that's out there, From Maine to Mexico by Lewis Kiefer, is a good read, detailing how this great organization was born and how it sprang into action and the selfless action of CAP volunteers. Those brave men and women set the standard for all of us. I had the honor of meeting a number of those Coastal Patrol members and to hear their first-hand accounts of their missions. One of those members was Hugh Sharp. Hugh was one of the first 2 recipients of the Air Medal from then sitting President Theodore Roosevelt. Franklin D, excuse me, wrong history. But President Roosevelt presented these medals to him, Eddie Edwards, and to Hugh Sharp. One of the interesting things that I took away was the story that Hugh had related to me. Each year, up till a few years ago, the Coastal Patrol at Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, met, reminisced, ate together, loved one another, and talked about their experiences and shared that with many folks who were able to attend those meetings. And I was privileged to be a part of that. But one of the stories that was communicated to me was that after about 50 years, the members started saying, you know, it's time for us to get together and to do some things and maybe try to find out a little bit more about our history. So they, through diligence and perseverance, located in this country a German U-boat commander. And they contacted him and asked him if they would, or if he would be willing to meet with them, and he agreed. So they met at a Shoney's or a Big Boy, I forget which or both. But anyway, they sat and they talked and realized that it would be safe for him to come to the reunion and to meet with those folks. It was interesting that the U-boat commander brought his submarine log with him, and Colonel Sharp brought his aircraft log with him. And just by coincidence, Colonel Sharp said, on such and such a date, at latitude and longitude, where were you? And the U-boat commander looked it up and he said, I was at such and such a latitude, such and such a longitude, and we were looking at each other. Now, you know, you don't get those kinds of stories every day. But through the years, Civil Air Patrol has vigilantly and valiantly expected and appreciated an unequal opportunity for the future. Those problems of funding and membership will always be with us, but we've stayed the course and stayed the cause. We can have all the funding that is possible, but if we don't have personnel to execute the mission, then we're spinning our wheels. There are countless hundreds of folks from all walks of life, from all races, creeds, colors, that want to join Civil Air Patrol. They just don't know it. So many youth are looking for a place to belong and for mentors. They're looking for new friends. There are adults and senior adults that have time on their hands, and they're looking for the reward of sharing their experience with others and a place to belong. A lot of public relations and grunt work will need to be made to make CAP a player in this modern world and to make a change within the organization and within the community. The change has to be away from the distraction of the culture and away from the technology, but we have those things within the organization that will attract them. But I have great confidence that we will do it. Our current leadership is focused upon that, and they're moving forward. You know, through the years, we've witnessed remarkable change in CAP. Some we like, some we don't. but we've learned to adapt. But change is a necessary evil. A wise man named Solomon, excuse my speech, who explored life to its fullest, said there's a season for all things, and change was a foundation for growth. Today, we're about to witness a new change. We're about to witness a change within wing leadership. And that's just another step in growth. New blood, new innovation, new invigoration, and the wing will transpire. I recall when I stepped down as the commanding general for this organization, reflecting upon the words from Colonel Talent when I left Tennessee Wing as the commander. He said, if you accomplished all you set out to do and left nothing undone, then you failed. Colonel Young, as you depart, there's no doubt that you have the same feelings that I did. There's no such thing as having everything done. But there is much left to do, but it takes time. In closing, I'm going to use the old cliche, there is no I in team, but there is an I in time, and the clock is starting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to turn things over to our Region Commander, Colonel Andrea Van Buren, for a briefing on the Southeast Region. Ma'am.
Thank you so very much. General, you're a hard act to follow, sir. Oh, they set me up on that one. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for dedication to our organization. Colonel Young, thank you for your invitation to be here. And it's a very exciting day. And members of Tennessee Wing, thank you for your dedication and being here today. No matter where you are, we have a handful of wonderful people in the room, and I'm sorry we can't be together in person. I know the last 2 years, my goodness, it's just been what a challenge. But Tennessee Wing, you stay the course. You are dependable. You are there when needed. When there's a call for a search, when there's a new project, new technology, you jump at it and you embrace it. And I can't thank you enough for all that you have done to continue doing the missions, to continue going to meetings, to continue to serve. There are so many other things that you could be doing with your time. They're sleeping in on Saturday mornings. Do we do that in CAP? I can't remember the last time I slept in on a Saturday morning in CAP. It doesn't happen. There are other things you could be doing with your family, taking vacation time to do CAP missions and go to conferences, and there's so many other things you could do, and you choose CAP, and you choose CAP every day. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for that. The region is in an incredible state of productivity. We have not stopped. So COVID did not stop us. Hurricanes don't stop us. And I put $1 in my own hurricane jar. That's two, actually. There's an H word jar because we're not supposed to say the H word. Nothing stops us. You keep going. So we have the new technologies with Waldo, which has been centrally featured in Tennessee Wing. New emerging technologies as well with Aeronet. So more to come on that. You're going to start hearing a lot more about Aeronet. Any of the missions that you guys are called to serve for, you do. And you're at the forefront. You are at the forefront, Tennessee Wing. So keep learning and keep an eye out for those things that are coming along because we're doing those. The membership, of course, has dwindled a little bit just because some people have dropped off as things have happened the last couple of years, but it's coming back up. And we have great people in place doing the missions. So I'm not going to take up all of Colonel Young's time because I know he's got a lot to say, but we're doing well. We're proceeding. We're moving forward. So stay the course. Keep going. Have the dedication that you've always had. Thank you for doing all the wonderful things that you do. And I'm looking around the room here and I'm looking at all of you online. Thank you. Keep going.
Thank you, Colonel. And now, please join me in welcoming our Tennessee Wing Commander for a few remarks. Sir?
Good morning. You'll note there's no slides behind me this morning, and it's a wing conference. Something's wrong. Actually, no, nothing is wrong. It's been a rush. It's been a wonderful 4 years. I've got a whole list of folks that need to be thanked. General Bowling, thank you for joining us this morning. Colonel Van Buren, I know you had to be here, but thank you anyway. This 4 years wouldn't have been possible without the help of a lot of people, and I will start with Colonel Barry Melton. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity for selecting me to lead this wing for 4 years. I hope I haven't disappointed you. Colonel Van Buren, your mentorship, your support, your assistance has been invaluable. Without you and the rest of the Southeast Region Command team, wouldn't have gotten here. It's been very helpful. The staff, Tennessee Wing. You know, I'm dead serious when I say the staff allows me to think I'm in charge. Because most of the time when I need something done, the staff has already got it started, sometimes even finished. And an amazing group of people to work with. I wish I could stay on. No, it's been a long 4 years. But the staff has been amazing. Tennessee Wing, commanders, you guys have got the most important job in the wing, in Civil Air Patrol. And you guys have done a wonderful job. It's been, like Colonel Van Buren said, 2 years of clawing and fighting our way through COVID. And you guys have done amazing things as unit commanders. You've held your units together. In many cases, we've grown. So those units that were imaginative and worked hard and brought all their technology to bear and brought in the units, cadets from other units, so they could do their meetings virtually. I applaud you. I appreciate everything you guys have done. One very important thank you is standing here in the back of the room with her camera up. Barbara, your support has been invaluable. Without you, without your help, without you pivoting in a moment to change plans, we wouldn't be here. Thank you very much. And with that, I will get out of the way. Thank you, Tennessee Wing, for 4 wonderful years. And thank you for all you do for CAP and your nation.
Thank you, Colonel Young. At this time, we are, cross my fingers, you never want to say this at a conference, we're slightly ahead of schedule to try to keep us a little bit in line with where we want the change of command and where we have been advertising that. We're going to take a pause in the live stream for about 15 minutes, so we will join you back after that time. Thank you. Good morning and welcome back. We will continue this morning's session by recognizing several outstanding Tennessee Wing members. We're not able to present these awards in person this morning, but we nonetheless want to recognize these deserving members. Wing headquarters will work with the units to arrange for delivery of and presentation of these award elements at a later time. And these are our of the year award recipients from throughout the wing. The Major General Gene M. Holm Aerospace Education Officer of the Year recognizes outstanding performance in aerospace education by AE officers assigned duties at the squadron, group, wing, or region level. Today, we recognize Captain Daniel W. Knopfziger of the Murfreesboro Composite Squadron. The Frank G. Brewer Memorial Aerospace Awards are presented in commemoration of Frank G. Brewer Sr. and recognize his lifelong interest in aviation, youth, and education. Recognition is given to individuals and organizations that have made outstanding contributions to the advancement of youth aviation. The Brewer awardees for Tennessee Wing include, in the cadet category, Cadet Joshua Nathan Gardner-Woods of the Murfreesboro Composite Squadron. In the senior category, Captain Daniel W. Knopfziger, also of the Murfreesboro Composite Squadron. And in the non-CAP individual or organization category, the Murfreesboro Municipal Airport. The Air Force Sergeants Association Cadet NCO of the Year is presented to the Cadet NCO who exhibits outstanding qualities in the areas of followership, leadership, self-discipline, and aerospace education. This year's recipient is Cadet Chief Master Sergeant Michael Brandon Mayers of the Williamson County Cadet Squadron. The Colonel Dion E. DeCamp Ground Team of the Year recognizes active ground teams, urban direction finding teams, or other ground operations resources who have contributed significantly to the success of CAP's emergency services and operational missions. This year's recipients are the Music City Composite Squadron. The Colonel Edwin W. Lewis Incident Staff Member of the Year Award recognizes active cadet or senior members who have contributed significantly to the success of CAP's emergency services and operational missions at the incident staff level. This year's recipient is Lieutenant Colonel Kevin S. Divers of the Music City Composite Squadron. The Colonel David Cantor Operations Staff Officer of the Year Award recognizes an officer who has made significant contributions to CAP's emergency services, homeland security, and similar operational missions. This year's recipient is Lieutenant Colonel Bruce E. Brunko of the Wilson County Senior Squadron. The Communicator of the Year Award recognizes a member who has made a significant contribution to the CAP communications program as a whole. This year's recipient is Captain Charles W. Scoggins of the Choo Choo Senior Squadron. The Jack Sorensen Cadet Programs Officer of the Year Award recognizes the senior member who has contributed most to the CAP cadet program. This year's recipient is First Lieutenant Zachary A. Divers of the Music City Composite Squadron. The Safety Officer of the Year Award recognizes the safety officer who has contributed the most to the CAP safety program. Today's recipient is Major Eric F. Howard of the Music City Composite Squadron. The Character Development Instructor of the Year Award is presented to the member who has demonstrated the highest levels of excellence in the instruction of character development for cadets. Our recipient this year is Major Diane R. Edmondson of the Wilson County Senior Squadron. The Squadron Chaplain of the Year Award is presented for outstanding chaplain ministry at the squadron level. This year's recipient is Chaplain Major David W. Layton of the Chattanooga Composite Squadron. The Director of Finance of the Year Award recognizes the Wing Director of Finance who has contributed the most to the financial management program during the previous 12 months. This year's recipient is Major Robert R. Fraze of the Wilson County Senior Squadron, who is also on our Wing Finance staff. The Legislative Officer of the Year Award recognizes the outstanding legislative or government relations officer at the Wing level who has contributed the most to the success of CAP through his or her legislative efforts. This year's recipient is Lieutenant Colonel Morgan L. Torp-Peterson of the Murfreesboro Composite Squadron, who also has served as our Wing Legislative Officer. The Senior Member of the Year recognizes the senior member who has contributed the most to the success of the CAP mission. The award is not limited to accomplishments during 1 year. It recognizes a member's lifetime contributions to CAP and recognizes that member's service in different mission areas, as well as the member's advancement in professional development. The 2020 Tennessee Wing Senior Member of the Year is Major Walter J. Timoshuk III of the Middle Tennessee Senior Squadron. The Cadet of the Year recognizes the most outstanding cadet in CAP. Recipients must have earned the Earhart Award or higher, demonstrated outstanding leadership in CAP, attained academic excellence in school, and be at least a junior in high school. Our 2020 Tennessee Wing Cadet of the Year is Cadet Colonel David Ryan Johnson of the Music City Composite Squadron. Again, we congratulate all of our of the year award winners, and it may sound a bit strange for me to recognize our 2020 of the year recipients, but that's because we are a little bit later in the year for our conference than we normally are, and these are the awards that were decided earlier in this year. As you heard the different slate of awards, keep in mind we're nearing the time for our 2021 selections, so we will look forward to recognizing our outstanding members again for accomplishments this year. We would also like to recognize our quality cadet units. These awards were just recently announced by national headquarters. The Quality Cadet Unit Award recognizes units that show strong fundamentals in the cadet program. To be recognized, units must meet established criteria in at least 6 of 10 program areas, including onboarding, orientation flights, participation in CAP's mission areas, and more. In 2021, 3 Tennessee units were recognized under the Quality Cadet Unit Award program. Those are the Tullahoma Composite Squadron, the Murfreesboro Composite Squadron, and the Music City Composite Squadron. Congratulations to those units for their outstanding work in the cadet program. That will conclude our awards part of this morning's presentation. We're going to take another brief pause as we reposition and get ready for our change of command. We'll pause about 5 minutes while we reposition. Again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you shortly. And good morning again, and welcome back. At this time, I would like to welcome to the stage Major General Bowling along with Colonel Young for a special presentation.
Colonel Young, I'm about to make a presentation to you of which I was very confused initially. Colonel Middleton said, would you do the honors and give Colonel Young the bird? And I could tell by the surprised look on my face that he said, no, you misunderstood. So it's with great pleasure that I present to you on behalf of a grateful Tennessee Wing this trophy, which has a bottom, by the way, in appreciation of your service to this great wing.
Thank you, sir.
You're more than welcome.
I know we can find a place of honor for it in the house.
I'm sure Barbara will appreciate it.
Thank you.
And great job as MC. So everybody give him a very quiet round of applause so we don't bust the eardrums of everybody online. Being the MC of a conference, and especially a virtual conference, is not an easy job, to say the least. So you're doing a great job. Thank you. And to our coordinators for audio, video, you're doing a great job too. So this is not easy stuff. So I get the honor and the pleasure of talking about your outgoing wing commander, Colonel Young, my friend. I have had the honor of serving with him for many years now. And he's not only an incredible person, he's been an incredible commander. And I'm gonna kind of turn this way so I can see you guys and see him because he's standing just off stage. Being a wing commander is sometimes a very thankless solo job. And we have a saying, you don't know until you know. And Colonel, sorry, you might want to plug your ears because I don't want to scare you so you go running out of the room. It's a thankful job too. What we get to do as wing commanders is unlike anything else. It's one of the best gigs on the planet. And you have done it so incredibly well. The amount of appreciation cannot be expressed. I know what the job entails. I know the long hours, the long nights. Some of the phone calls we get are not the best phone calls sometimes. There are many times that you hang up the phone and you go, I'm not sure why I do this exactly. I don't get paid for this. And you wonder, why do I keep doing it? And then you look around the room. We have a couple of star cadets in the room today. A lot of times it's for you guys. It's for the other members of the wing to keep going, the people we serve. And your commander has done that so amazingly for 4 years. So he has dedicated 4 years of his life to serving the members of CAP in Tennessee Wing and throughout the region. Because not only does he serve your state as your commander, he has found time to go serve other states and other regions in disaster relief efforts. It's a time-consuming job to be a wing commander, and he still manages to serve in other capacities, conduct orientation flights, introduce people to aviation. You have an amazing commander. Mrs. Young, who disappeared somewhere, thank you for your support of our organization. I know it's tough on spouses too when there's all these late night phone calls and conference meetings and travel and squadron meetings and late nights, early mornings, missing weekends, missing vacation. And I know that's not been easy for you either. So thank you for your dedication to Tennessee Wing and Civil Air Patrol. We appreciate you. And we're going to send some stuff home with you that's going to take up more space in your house, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have had an incredible commander for 4 years, and Colonel Basara, you're about to take on one of the coolest jobs in CAP, and you're going to have a ball. And you have an incredible mentor here that you can lean on that will be able to answer any of your questions, so call him first before you call me. But ladies and gentlemen, I cannot tell you how much I am thankful to have served as wing commanders with my friend, Ben Young, and to have served with him as Region Commander, and his support of me in this position, his mentorship, and his friendship. He is a terrific person, and today I have a very small token of thanks from a grateful organization for all that you've done.
Attention orders. The Civil Air Patrol Distinguished Service Award is awarded to Colonel Dent W. Young II, Cap ID 387543, Tennessee Wing, for distinguished performance of duty during the period 17 October 2017 to 9 October 2021, effective 9 October 2021. Authority CAP Regulation 39-3. Colonel Dent W. Young II, CAP, distinguished himself by outstanding duty performance as Commander, Tennessee Wing, from 17 October 2017 to 9 October 2021. During this period, Colonel Young demonstrated outstanding leadership, professionalism, and management, directly leading to the success of the wing. He was an invaluable asset to CAP as he understands the total force concept and CAP missions. He has actively supported diversity of cognitive thinking, mentored future leaders at all levels, and has repeatedly demonstrated a high level of technical proficiency. Colonel Young balanced his time to not only be an excellent wing commander, but also an active incident commander. A command pilot, he utilized his piloting skills to conduct numerous CAP cadet orientation flights, Air Force ROTC orientation flights, and counter-drug missions. An early adopter of new technologies, Colonel Young was among the first DART and Waldo operators. His Waldo expertise was essential in responding to multiple disaster assessment missions, including those for both hurricane and tornado disasters. With a true heart for service, Colonel Young volunteered his time and skills to respond not only in Tennessee Wing, but to deploy to other wings and regions to help with assessment. Highly regarded by his superiors, peers, and subordinates alike, he has distinguished himself as an operational level thinker and top performer in getting results in Tennessee Wing. He is a proven leader whose professional and personal conduct is both transparent and represents both the Air Force and CAP core values. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Young reflect the highest credit upon himself, the Tennessee Wing, Southeast Region, and the Civil Air Patrol. Congratulations. And at this time, I would like to welcome Colonel Borsari, Colonel Van Buren, and Colonel Young for our change of command ceremony. Announcement is made of the appointment of Lieutenant Colonel George R. Borsari III as Commander, Tennessee Wing, Civil Air Patrol, Vice Colonel Dent W. Young II, and promotion to the temporary grade of Colonel effective 9 October 2021. The following will be the time-honored ceremony designed to mark the moment when a responsibility of command is passed to the incoming commander. The purpose of this ceremony is to allow subordinates to witness the formality of command change from one officer to another. The exchange of the unit's flag or guidon provides a tangible view of command authority being transferred from one commander to the next. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Ma'am, I relinquish command.
I accept command.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present your new commander, Colonel Rob Borsari.
All right. Thank you. I feel incredibly honored at being selected for this fantastic opportunity and sobering responsibility. I've had the privilege of serving Tennessee Wing under a series of wonderful wing commanders, and I've learned so much from them and their fine example. I want to thank them for their time and patience, and I hope that I can live up to the standard that they have set. We are going through a difficult time for everyone with far-reaching effects that are making it harder for us to meet, train, and conduct the programs of the Civil Air Patrol. It is more important than ever that we keep in mind the core values of integrity, volunteer service, excellence, and respect, and apply them to every aspect of our CAP service. Despite the restrictions, we still need to find ways to execute on all three of our primary missions. We need to both bring in new members and continue to serve the needs of our existing members while preparing for the time when the restrictions are eased and we can return to normal operation. Wing staff, group staffs, and squadron staffs all have many open opportunities. We need your help. We all need to pitch in at every level to keep the wing going and to keep it growing. I will do my best to meet the expectations of my fellow Tennessee Wing members, as well as those of region and national. I look forward to working with you all, and I promise that I will make every effort to lead the wing with the best interests of every member at heart. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of our conference.
As we conclude this morning's General Assembly, I have one additional announcement. Over the last 9 years, many of you have worked with our outstanding wing administrator, Ms. Jeannie Evans. Jeannie will be retiring, and her last day with us will be Friday, October 15th. I know many of you will want to say goodbye and wish her well. That opportunity will be available from 1 until 3 p.m. on Thursday and Friday. I know many of us will want to share those sentiments with her because I know she has served us all very well. With that, I once again want to say thank you to all of you for joining us today, and in a special way, thank you to all of our guests. Colonel Young, thank you for your many years of service to the wing, especially the last 4 as our commander. And Colonel Broussard, congratulations, and we look forward to the future of the wing under your leadership. To all of our attendees, I hope you enjoy your day and the many informative CAP mission seminars that are being offered. Please remember to mute your microphones during any seminars if we're using any technology that allows interaction. From the instructions you received yesterday, you know that you need to report 4 of the 6 keywords that you hear today for attendance credit. And to be entered for the special drawings that we have, including gift cards from Target and Vanguard. The keyword for this morning's presentation is whirlwind. So remember that, whirlwind is the keyword for today's presentation to log for conference credit. With that, if none of our guests have anything further, we will conclude this morning's assembly. Once again, thank you and have a great day.